Have you ever noticed how some days start off with a foggy mind and a sluggish body, even when you've had a full night's rest? You wake up, stretch, and somehow still feel like your energy is missing a spark. That feeling, that drag, can sometimes be traced right back to the first thing we put into our bodies each morning, or what we don't. Imagine if one simple addition to your breakfast could begin changing that. Not a fancy pill, not a trendy supplement, just a humble bowl of oats. You've probably walked past oats on the grocery shelf more times than you can count, maybe even have a container of them sitting in your pantry right now. But what you might not know is what happens inside your body when you make them a part of your daily routine. Not just once in a while, not just after the holidays, but every single day. The results? They're more powerful than most people realize, and especially in your senior years, they can be life-changing. Let's talk about the first big transformation, how it would support heart health. In this stage of life, the heart becomes a little more demanding of our attention. It asks for better care, gentler foods, and fewer surprises. Oats contain a type of fiber called beta-glucan, which works behind the scenes like a cleanup crew. It binds to excess cholesterol and gently sweeps it out before it has a chance to linger. And this isn't just wishful thinking. Countless studies have shown how daily oats can actually lower harmful LDL cholesterol levels. That's not just good news for your numbers at the doctor's office. It's a direct line to better circulation, less strain on your heart, and potentially a longer, more active life. But it's not just your heart that benefits. Think about your digestion. As we age, the body tends to slow down in ways that are inconvenient and, frankly, uncomfortable. Many seniors quietly struggle with sluggish digestion, irregularity, or that bloated feeling that just won't go away. This is where oats work their second bit of magic. The soluble fiber helps keep things moving, not too fast, not too slow, but just right. It gives your digestive system a gentle nudge without harsh side effects or unpleasant surprises. And over time, this consistency supports a healthier gut and a far more comfortable day-to-day life. Now let's talk energy. Real, steady, dependable energy, not the kind that spikes and crashes after a sugary breakfast or an extra cup of coffee. Oats are a complex carbohydrate, which means they digest slowly and release energy gradually. Instead of feeling a jolt and then a crash, your body gets a steady supply of fuel. That translates to more stamina to walk, garden, play with grandkids, or simply go about your day feeling like you're fully present and in control. It's not about bouncing off the walls. It's about having the steady energy to enjoy your time without feeling drained halfway through it. And here's something most people don't talk about, but should: stability in blood sugar. For anyone managing or at risk for type 2 diabetes, or simply hoping to avoid the fatigue and brain fog that comes from blood sugar dips, oats can be a reliable ally. That same slow digestion that gives you energy also helps prevent blood sugar spikes. You're not just feeding your body, you're helping it stay balanced. Over time, that adds up to fewer mood swings, clearer thinking, and a body that feels calmer and more in sync. But perhaps one of the most underrated benefits of eating oats daily is how they affect your sense of fullness. If you've ever found yourself reaching for snacks out of boredom or waking up ravenous because dinner didn't quite cut it, oats can help recalibrate that. They keep you fuller for longer, which means fewer mindless munching moments and a greater sense of control over your appetite. That's not about strict dieting or counting calories. It's about feeling nourished, satisfied, and in tune with what your body truly needs. And as you start to feel these small changes, better digestion, steadier energy, improved heart health, it starts to influence your mood. It's easier to be hopeful when your body feels good. It's easier to stay active when you're not weighed down by fatigue or bloating. And it's easier to stay connected to your life when you feel physically supported from the inside out. Now that we've touched on how oats can positively affect your heart, digestion, energy, and blood sugar, we can begin to see the bigger picture. This isn't just about one food. It's about how one simple habit, repeated daily, can have a ripple effect on how you move, think, and feel in your senior years. Let's keep this momentum going because the benefits don't stop here. When something as ordinary as oats begins to have an extraordinary effect on your daily life, it opens up the door to unexpected benefits that often go overlooked. One of those surprising advantages has everything to do with your skin. It may not be the first thing you think about when preparing your morning meal, but what you put inside your body absolutely shows on the outside. Oats contain specific antioxidants known as avenanthramides. These not only help soothe inflammation internally, but they can also contribute to calmer, clearer, more resilient skin. For seniors who might be noticing more dryness, redness, or irritation than they used to, this can be a subtle but welcome shift. Over time, you might find your skin feels less reactive and more nourished, not from a cream, but from your breakfast. And while we're talking about things people can feel but don't always connect back to food, let's talk about joints. Aches and stiffness tend to creep in slowly. Maybe it starts with a knee that protests a little more when you get out of a chair, or a shoulder that takes longer to loosen up in the morning. Oats aren't a miracle cure, but they do play a helpful role in reducing internal inflammation, especially when they're a part of a consistent routine. When your body isn't fighting as much from within, it has more resources to support recovery and movement. That translates into fewer slow mornings, easier walks, and more confidence when it comes to doing simple things like reaching for something on a high shelf or bending down in the garden. What often surprises people is that oats can even play a quiet role in emotional wellness. There's a deep connection between gut health and mental health. What's going on in your digestive system can directly affect your mood, your outlook, and even how well you sleep at night. Because oats support a balanced gut microbiome, they indirectly help with the production of important chemicals like serotonin. This can contribute to a greater sense of emotional balance throughout the day. You might not feel an instant mood shift, but over time, many people report feeling just a bit more calm, a little more focused, and better able to handle the ups and downs that come with life in later years. Speaking of sleep, there's a connection here that deserves more attention. Rest doesn't come as easily for everyone, especially in senior years. Tossing, turning, waking up too early, it's frustrating. What many don't know is that oats contain small amounts of melatonin and magnesium, both of which are linked to better rest. When eaten a couple of hours before bedtime, especially in a warm, comforting form like oatmeal, they may help signal your body to wind down. It's not about knocking you out, it's about easing into rest more naturally. And when sleep is more restful, everything else during the day tends to go a little smoother. Another point to consider is the simplicity oats bring to your daily routine. In a world that pushes complex diets and expensive health trends, it's grounding to return to something that's affordable, accessible, and incredibly versatile. Whether you like them hot with a sprinkle of cinnamon, cold and soaked overnight with fruit, or blended into a smoothie for a thicker texture, oats adapt to your taste and schedule. And there's peace of mind in knowing that what you're eating is doing something good for you without requiring extra effort or stress. There's also a quiet dignity in choosing foods that help you take control of your health in ways that feel empowering, not overwhelming. When you reach a stage in life where some things are out of your hands, medical appointments, prescriptions, shifting routines, it feels good to know there's still something you can count on each morning. It may sound small, but small things build strength. They become rituals. They become part of how you care for yourself, one thoughtful choice at a time. And here's something else that rarely gets talked about. Routine can provide a sense of emotional security. Starting your day with something familiar and beneficial creates structure, especially for those who live alone or whose days may no longer be as scheduled as they once were. That sense of knowing what comes next, knowing you're beginning your day with something kind to your body, can be grounding. It creates a rhythm, a bit of calm in the chaos. And that consistency adds up, not only in physical health but in peace of mind. Then there's the matter of confidence. When you start to notice even the smallest positive change in your body, less bloating, more energy, better sleep, you carry yourself differently. You may find you're more willing to go for that walk, to say yes to the lunch invitation, to spend a little more time outside. That quiet confidence, born from taking care of your body, tends to spread into all areas of life. You're not just eating better, you're showing up for yourself. So while oats may seem like a small, unremarkable grain, what they set in motion is much bigger. They represent a ripple effect that starts in the kitchen and reaches all areas of life. It begins with nourishment, yes, but grows into ease, confidence, and a feeling of being grounded in your choices. And just when you think you've discovered all they can do, there's still more to explore. There's something quietly powerful about knowing that what you put on your plate can influence how your body functions at its deepest levels. Most people don't realize that oats play a supportive role in strengthening the immune system, something that becomes especially meaningful in the senior years. It's not about avoiding every little sniffle or dodging every virus, but rather about giving your body the daily backup it needs to recover faster and resist illness more effectively. Oats contain beta-glucans, a special type of fiber that helps immune cells function at their best. Over time, That means fewer lingering colds and quicker bounce backs when life throws its curveballs. What often catches people by surprise is how much this one food can influence something as vital as circulation. You might not feel your blood pressure inching up or notice when arteries begin to stiffen, but those slow shifts matter. Oats support better blood flow by helping maintain flexible arteries and reducing excess cholesterol. This isn't just about numbers on a doctor's chart. It's about the energy you have for the day ahead, the warmth in your hands and feet, and the peace of knowing your heart is working with less strain. That comfort can make a difference in how willing you are to move, to engage, and to enjoy. Now let's talk digestion, but not the way it's usually discussed. It's more than just avoiding discomfort or making sure things are regular. In your senior years, smooth digestion means your body can actually absorb and use the nutrients you're taking in. And oats, with their unique soluble fiber, slow the movement of food just enough to allow vitamins and minerals to be absorbed more thoroughly. It's like giving your body more time to do its job well. You may notice fewer stomach upsets, less indigestion, and more satisfaction from your meals, which can lead to healthier eating patterns overall. But the effects of oats don't stop at the stomach or the heart or the immune system. They have a quiet influence on how your blood sugar behaves, which can be life-changing if you've ever felt the crashing fatigue that comes from a glucose spike followed by a sudden drop. Eating oats consistently helps balance those highs and lows by slowing the release of sugar into the bloodstream. This doesn't just affect people with diabetes. It's relevant to anyone who wants steadier energy, clearer thinking, and a calmer mood throughout the day. And the beauty is, this happens without needing dramatic changes to your diet. It's one simple meal that gently supports the complex system. If you've ever felt like you had to choose between what's healthy and what's satisfying, oats challenge that assumption. They create room for both. Their natural creaminess, their ability to take on flavors both sweet and savory, and their filling nature mean they can become whatever you need them to be: comfort food, fuel, or even a form of self-care. That flexibility can breathe new life into your relationship with food, especially if cooking has started to feel like a chore rather than a joy. Another benefit that often flies under the radar is how oats support bone health. It's not just calcium that matters as you age. Magnesium, zinc, and phosphorus all play essential roles, and oats provide a steady, plant-based source of these minerals. You may not notice your bones getting stronger day by day, but over time, this quiet contribution can help reduce your risk of fractures and give you more confidence in your movements, whether it's navigating stairs or simply getting up from your favorite chair. And there's a more personal layer to all of this too. Choosing oats isn't just about health benefits. It can also be about connection. Sharing a warm breakfast with a loved one, swapping recipes with a neighbor, or even just sitting with your thoughts as you enjoy a peaceful morning can become part of your wellness ritual. It's about more than fuel. It's about presence, intention, and nurturing both your body and your spirit. For those who live alone or don't cook often anymore, this simple act of preparing oats, just a few ingredients, minimal cleanup, no fuss, can offer a renewed sense of purpose. That might sound like a stretch, but daily rituals matter. They give us a sense of control, of care, and of continuity, especially in a world that doesn't always move at our pace. It also opens the door to creativity. Maybe one morning you stir in blueberries and a touch of honey. Maybe another day you try almond butter and cinnamon. Each version becomes a small act of discovery, a reminder that even the most familiar things can hold surprises. That playfulness is part of wellness too, staying curious, open, and engaged with the world around you. As the days go by, you may not even realize all the ways your body is responding to this one simple addition to your routine. But in the background, things are shifting. Your energy is more stable, your mind is more clear, your digestion more steady. And with that stability comes confidence. The confidence to say yes to plans, to stay active, to enjoy your time, knowing your body is being gently supported. You don't need dramatic changes, expensive supplements, or complicated diets to feel better in your body. Sometimes the smallest, most consistent actions carry the most power. And when that action is something as comforting, nourishing, and accessible as a bowl of oats, it becomes a daily gift you give yourself, not just for your health, but for your peace of mind and your quality of life. And just like that, your morning ritual becomes something more. Not a trend, not a temporary fix, but a lasting companion in the background of your days, helping you live them just a little better with a little more ease. When we talk about change, we often imagine big leaps. But sometimes the most meaningful improvements come from small, daily steps that slip quietly into our routines without much fanfare. Eating oats each day may not sound dramatic, but what it does over time touches more than just the physical body. It gently nurtures confidence, comfort, and stability in ways that matter deeply in the later chapters of life. There's something to be said about the calm that comes from a predictable rhythm. For many seniors, the pace of life begins to shift. Some days may feel slower, others uncertain. In this space, having something you can count on, a simple bowl of oats, thoughtfully prepared, acts as a quiet anchor. It gives you a reason to start the day with intention, and that can make all the difference when you're seeking purpose in the ordinary moments. Even beyond the nutrients and health benefits, this small act becomes a powerful reminder that your well-being is still very much in your hands, that you still have the ability to choose what supports you, that you can still decide, in a world that often wants to make decisions for you, how you'll care for yourself each day. There's dignity in that, and it should never be underestimated. There's also the matter of affordability. So many wellness trends and superfoods come with high price tags and complicated instructions, making it feel like health is only for the privileged. But oats remain refreshingly accessible. You don't need a special store or a gourmet recipe. With a little water or milk and just a few minutes, you've got something hearty, nourishing, and dependable. That kind of simplicity is powerful, especially when it doesn't come at the cost of quality. And the emotional comfort can't be ignored. Think of those early mornings, perhaps with a cup of tea or coffee, when the world is still quiet and it's just you, your thoughts, and something warm in your bowl. That moment of peace, repeated day after day, becomes a kind of meditation. For those who live alone or spend long stretches of time without company, it can be grounding. It can gently ease the ache of solitude with its soft texture, its familiarity, its calm presence. Another important piece that rarely gets discussed is how much your gut health influences your mood. Scientists have found that there's a real connection between the digestive system and the brain, and supporting a healthy gut through fiber-rich foods like oats can actually improve your sense of well-being. This isn't just science, it's something you can feel. Over time, you may notice a little more lightness, a little more optimism, a little more resilience when the hard days come. And that internal shift is invaluable. As you continue choosing oats day after day, the act itself may begin to feel less like something you should do and more like something you truly enjoy. Not just because of how it makes your body feel, but because of what it represents. It's a symbol of consistency, of caring for yourself in a way that's gentle but firm. You're not giving up, not giving in, and not settling for decline. You're choosing nourishment in a world that often forgets the quiet strength of older adults. And you're not alone in it either. Across the world, people just like you are making similar choices. There's a quiet community in that thought, a shared understanding that aging doesn't mean you stop taking steps forward. That there's still time to feel stronger, more in control, and more in tune with your body than ever before. Oats just happen to be one of the easiest, most effective ways to start. What's beautiful is how that one simple habit can be built upon. Maybe you add more whole foods to your meals. Maybe you begin drinking more water, going for walks, or cooking again. Sometimes that first spark leads to other lights turning on. And that's the real magic here. Not just what oats do on their own, but what they inspire you to do next. In the end, it's not about turning back the clock or chasing youth. It's about embracing where you are and doing what you can to make each day a little better. And that kind of wisdom, that kind of self-respect, doesn't come from flashy fads or overnight fixes. It comes from choices that reflect how much you value your time, your energy, and your experience. So, if no one has told you this lately, your care for yourself matters. Your health matters. And the little things you do each day, like choosing oats for breakfast, aren't little at all. They're brave. They're wise. They're acts of hope. Keep doing them. Keep listening to your body. Keep feeding your life with what helps it thrive. Because you're still writing your story, and it deserves to be one of strength, clarity, and nourishment, inside and out.